Hi, Scott here, and let's talk a little bit about our authors, okay, before we go through and find some authors and create a favorites list, okay? The way that we hire authors is much different than the way we used to, okay? Any site can actually start up, hire authors, because there are people out there in the droves looking to write for hire. With the unemployment rates the way that they are and the ease of working from home from your computer, it's easy to say, hey, I can write for hire. But the thing that we found is it's not always a good thing just to hire somebody based on their word, a good attitude, and a good sample. We actually require authors to take essays, and we examine them in areas of writing, especially categories, before they can actually start writing for hire here on the site. Okay, we wanted to be able to do our due diligence with authors ahead of time, so that way we are showing people to you who know what they're doing and who actually have a track record of knowing what they're doing here. Okay, so when you come in, you'll see that our category lists are rather condensed, okay? And the reason why we've done that is because we've defined essays for each one of these areas. And so when you go to actually find work in different categories, you simply try to choose the one that's most relevant. So in the area of, let's say, of news and society, right? If you had a category that was close to dating, then you would obviously choose this one right here. But in choosing this one, what this means is when you click search, now you'll see that it's showing that there's 129 authors here. When you click search, now the system is actually going to go out there and it's actually going to show you that there are 48 writers who are showing for this criteria. Now this doesn't mean that they've simply gone into their profile area on their side and have said, yeah, I can do work in news and society. We've actually given them an essay, and here's what I mean. Right here are exam scores, the essay scores, and so you can see that for this one, this is a category, so you can see that under news and society, which is the fifth one down, this author scored 3.5. Okay, and then the actual essay is right here, news and society. So you can click it and you can view the actual essay and you can view what the writer wrote, and then you can see what it was rated here. Now of course you can certainly rate it by your own standards, but this is according to our standards, our review panel. Okay, so this is what the writer wrote. If you like what you see here, then you can favorite the author just by clicking that little star right here, and now you can see that he's in my favorites. So he'll also show up in my favorites list right here where I can manage all of my favorites. Okay, I can do this individually if I want to spend some time in here, I want to go through and look through. But one of the ways that you can actually find authors rather quickly is if you have a good idea of what your category is about. You can come in, you can simply search by category, and then you can choose to broadcast a message to each one of these authors here by doing this. This is probably the quickest way to do it. You come in here, you'll see that all of them are in here. You can choose them individually like this, create a message, click submit, and send out a message to these two authors. But if you wanted to kind of broaden your search and make it a little bit more broad, you can actually come in here and associate all of them, create your message, upload a file which may have some certain prerequisites that you'd like to see in the writer, maybe require some questions to be answered. You're certainly more than welcome to do that. Send out your message and then wait for the replies. Okay, so as the replies come in, at the time of this video, you'll notice that if you start using this broadcast feature, that we are going to be adding the ability to see whether or not the author is actually in your favorites and is not in your favorites, and then the ability to add them to your favorites as the replies come in. Okay, this is something that has not been added as of the time of this video. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what is types of writing? Okay, now before I explain what types of writing are, let's explain that the way that you use these filters in order is simply to go news and society. So now you can narrow down to skill level. You can say, okay, essential skill is really the starter pay that the writer can start at. It's roughly about 1 cent a word, a little over 1 cent a word. Then it goes on up to better skill, which is 2 cents a word, high skill 3 cents a word, and exceptional at 5 cents a word. Okay, and if you're wondering, can writers who are approved in this skill level accept work in this skill level? And they can. Writers who are in this skill level, automatically the subsequent skill levels are all open to them. So if you want to narrow your search down to better skill, roughly about 2 cents a word, narrow down through, click search, you will see now that the system is showing us a total of 44 authors. Now if you want to narrow it even further down, you say, hey look, I'm looking for someone in the area of news and society with a better skill level, and then in the area of fictional writing, you can do that as well. Fictional is a type of writing, and it's an exam that we gave them that they chose to take. So you can see here A Shiflet shows for fictional writing. So if I hover over exams, I look under types of writing, I can see fictional. She's 5. She's a wonderful fictional writer. So I can add her to my favorites as well too. Okay, so now I've added 2 writers to my favorites. If I go to my favorites list, I'll see 2 of them there. This video is looking at about 5 minutes, but the way that these all work together in order is usually category first, skill level second, types of writing second. Now you'll notice if you just want to use types of writing as a search criteria, you can do that as well too. You can come in and go ebooks and reports, click search, and now you'll see that the site is showing as 23 writers. This is kind of nice because you may have a Kindle ebook that you want written or a particular report or something. You can go in, click broadcast, simply associate all of them, send out a message, say, hey, I'm looking for a group of writers or maybe 2 or 3 authors that I could work with on a particular Kindle project. Please respond, etc., etc. And then as you send this broadcast out, you can receive replies, and as I was stating, as they come in, you'll be able to see whether or not they're in your favorites. You can favorite them, collaborate with them, and then go and create your request. Okay, so this video is 5 minutes, and it talks a little bit about how we hire authors and actually how to find authors and review their exam scores. The QC score, if you're curious about what this is, what that simply is the amount of flags that the writer has received on the work finished that they finished here on the site. You can see that this writer has written 1,369 different texts, and out of that he has received 100% QC score. That means out of all of this work, none of it was flagged. That's what that means. So thanks for watching. If we can be of any assistance, please feel free to get in touch with us either through live support when we're available or contact us from support right here during off hours. Thanks for watching.